Y'all, this is your girl Sierra. This is gonna be a little bit of a different video today. It's gonna be all over the place, okay? So just bear with me, because I look like shit. But, I've been out of the foster care system for... Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to add this up. I'm not very good at math. I've been on the system for 4 years. And within that 4 years, I became addicted to heroin, Oxycontin, stuff like that. But I've had some bad experiences with it, but this might be a little gory. The last time I did heroin was 4 years ago, like right after I got out of the system. And that was the last time I ever did it, because I had overdosed and I ended up in the hospital on life support. And I was struggling with that for quite some time, and that just made my depression and stuff worse, because I suffer with depression from my sexual assaults, you know. But God brought me out of that. And if it wasn't for Him, I would not be here today. He gave me the blessing of my son. They're almost 3 years ago. I don't have custody of him right now due to some issues I had while, you know, when he was younger. I took off to Indiana and left him with a family friend, and you know, all that. And then my mental health was another reason that got him taken away. He was my baby, y'all. Like, he brought me out of a lot of stuff. I guess I just want to say, don't ever give up. Okay? Because if you do, it's not worth it. It's not. But, okay, that's one part of the video. But second part, I'm going to partially describe my assaults, so it don't get sexual assault, so it don't get too into detail. Because I know some people have flashbacks, you know. But, okay. It was 2015. October 27th of 2015. I was walking up the street and I lived in Lexington, Kentucky at that time. I was walking up the street to get a cigarette from a friend, you know. And, I got a little bit past my apartment complex that I was living in. And, this guy came off the bus. I'm not going to name his name. We'll just call him Tyrone. That's not his real name, but we're just going to say Tyrone. And, came up to me, and I'd known him, you know, we had talked before, but I didn't think he had it in him. He was drunk, you know, got off the city bus, he was drunk, wanted to smoke a blunt, you know, whatever. I didn't smoke, but he did, and then he pulled me into an alleyway that was right beside my apartment complex and pulled me into the maintenance closet of the apartment complex. And he started off by kissing on me, you know, and I was like, no, I don't want this. I do not want this. I gotta go. Well, then he proceeded to push me up against that wall of the maintenance closet, pulled down my pants, and began to assault me. The whole time I was just freaking out. I froze up, you know, whatever. It's kind of hard for me to talk about. It's I still struggle with it, but, he did. When he sexually assaulted me, I got done. I didn't end up going to my friend to get a cigarette. Because as soon as it happened, I ran back into my apartment with my now ex-husband. But, I said, call 911. He said, what happened? What happened? Whatever. I said, I've just been assaulted. He said, by who? By, whatever. He got kind of pissed. He's like, oh, I told you not to go out. And anyways, let's push past that. So we got there, called 911, brought the ambulance and the police, and they asked me what all had went on, and I had explained to him what had happened. And they put me in the back of the ambulance, and I had this really, really nice lady cop ride with me so she could get more out of me, because, there was a male cop, and I didn't really want to discuss with the male cop what had happened, being as I just got sexually assaulted. But, so we took there, hospital, get there, wait in the emergency room for, I think, about 5 to 10 minutes, and they called me back, because they put me in triage. They called me back, it was regular ER room at first, to see if I had anything physically wrong, and then they sent me to the SANE nurse, which is, if you all don't know, it's sexual assault nurse examination. At that time, I had a really nice sweetheart nurse, She was sweet. She told me what was going to go on. They did a pelvic exam, vaginal swabs, and this whole process, like, in the hospital, talking to the actual detectives, and then the rape crisis counseling, it took about 9 hours. But, she did that. She said, okay, we're going to take some swabs, They took some anal swabs, vaginal swabs, checked for DNA. And, I had some great detectives at the Lexington Special Victims Department. I don't know their I forgot their names, but I wouldn't mention them anyways. Privacy, But she did the examination, and then the rape crisis counselor came to the hospital, brought me a change of clothes, because they had to take my clothes for evidence. So she did that. I got changed. Me and her sat and talked for 40 minutes, 45, something like that. I know it was a while. I don't know exactly how long. Hold on, I gotta take a drink of coffee. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I have to get possession. And then we sat there and talked, and they said, well, we've got to wait on the detectives. In my case, I had 3 different detectives over the span of 4 years. But, it's whatever, But anyways, they were really sweet. And this case there's still going on, But the detectives came and talked to me, and that was about 30, 45 minutes, Because they had to come talk to me, and then this, that, and that. And they had to go back and forth, because they had to talk to the nurse, then me, then the nurse. And I ended up with a Fraser injury to my rectum. Which, if y'all don't know, it's just a laceration to my rectum. And like I said, I'm going to make this, well, I haven't said it yet, but I'm going to make this for only, let's say, 18 and up, because I don't want kids to, have to experience this or whatever, because it's still painful to this day. But anyways. Okay. that happened after I talked to detectives. They discharged me and whatever, okay? And then about 3 days later, I started when they gave me, the preventative medications to make sure I didn't get sexually transmitted diseases or whatever, it's just something they do. And sorry, I'm starting to get emotional, but about 2 or 3 days later, it's completely unrelated, They said I had to go to the hospital because I was having some really bad abdominal pain. So I went to the hospital, got checked in the emergency room, waited about 2 hours before I got seen, because I wasn't that high priority, because, no chest pain, I wasn't like a trauma case, but, I had nausea and vomiting with it, and then, at the hospital, like I said, and as I was getting discharged, I seen Tyrone. That's the name I'm using because, I don't want to explain the real name, I guess, because that's an invasion of privacy, regardless of what he's done. That's also just something I do not do. And then, when I was getting ready to go to the bus stop, the latest train bus stop, and I seen him. He gave me this god-awful, evil look, Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but, it still hits home to this day, but, I went into the office, I walked around to, the main entrance to where you go, if you're gonna go visit somebody or something, main entrance. And I told security guard, hey, my rapist, I just got raped a couple of days ago, and after I got the exam stuff, they said to stay away from him, and me to stay away from him, and him to stay away from me. Stuff's gonna happen, but it's a little bit explained to her, he raped me a couple days ago, and he's sitting there at the bus stop, and he gave me, a really evil look. She said, okay, wait here, let me go check it out, and she went to check out. She was a sweetheart. So I sat there and wait, she said, well, just stay in here, and you can wait till the next bus runs. She said, honey, are you hungry? I said, yeah, but I don't have no money. She said, hold on, I got you. She said, she was such a sweetheart. This security guard was really a doll. And, she's like, okay, hold on, let me go to the cafeteria. And, it was her lunch break, So I sat there and waited, sat in the chair. She brought me back chicken tenders and french fries. I was like, thank you so much. You didn't have to. She said, but I wanted to. She said, just someday when you get the chance to pay it for it. Well, okay. And I'm still doing that to this day. But on to about 2 years after the assault happened, I got a call from my detective saying, hey, Miss Hester, hold on, rewind, okay. About 3 months after the assault, I'll tell you the 2 years after assault, afterwards. About 3 months after the assault, my detective asked me to come do a photo lineup, and I looked through 30 pictures, kid you not, and I picked him out of the lineup, the one that did it to me, Tyrone, and it was traumatizing, it felt like I was living it all over again. And then, okay, after that, about 2 years after this, I got a call from the detective saying, Miss Hester, he said, we got some of the evidence back. They hadn't got all of it back, and they did find some foreign DNA per se, foreign from the perpetrator, and I got that call, and yay, whatever, and there's still nothing that's came out of it to this day, and that happened October 27th of 2015. I've heard he's done it to other people, so, he may be in jail or whatever, but, yeah, anyways, okay, so, that's my story. I wanted to share this for the #MeToo movement. I'm sorry that I zoned out a couple of times, but it still hurts to this day, it's still hard to talk about. I've worked through some of it, but I'm still traumatized from it, because, who wouldn't be? But I just want to say, if anybody ever needs to talk, comment on this video, and I will personally give you my cell phone number or my Facebook so you can talk, because I don't want you going through this alone, and that's my story for the Me Too movement. Love y'all.